Yeah.
We'd like to welcome the 2025 Cognizant Classic and the Palm Beaches champion, Joe Highsmith. Congratulations, Joe. Great round today. Just talk us through how you're feeling, your first PGA Tour win.
Yeah, thank you. Feeling great. I mean, at the moment, it's all a little bit of a whirlwind. I don't totally know what to expect. That was the last thing I was expecting at the start of the day was a win, but yeah, I mean, it's incredible. It feels really nice to just play a round of golf like that and get all the things that come from winning a tournament. So, yeah, feeling great.
So we'll open it up to questions. If you could raise your hand, we'll hand you over Mike. We'll start with Paul.
Joe, how was the range session today?
It was really good, actually. You know, unlike yesterday, it felt pretty good today, which I didn't know if that was going to be meaning I would have a bad day, but fortunately it worked out, and yeah, the whole practice session this morning was pretty good.
Just when you make the cut on the number, it's always, you know, make the cut and anything can happen, but I think this was the first time in 9 years that someone makes the cut on the number and then wins. What were your expectations at that point, and at what point did it shift to you can actually win the golf tournament?
Yeah, I mean, making the weekend, you know, I played really nice the first day and was kind of trending off a pretty good week in Mexico, so I was feeling good. And then I kind of had a roller coaster day on Friday with 2 doubles and 2 bogeys, and you know, found myself with a 5-footer on 18 just to play the weekend. I was like, man, am I really going to miss a cut? I feel like I played really good the day before, and even on Friday did a lot of good things, but I feel like once I made it on the number, I knew that I was going to go out early on Saturday, and that was going to be a good chance because this course just gets so much harder as the day goes on. And you know, I definitely took advantage of that. I played really nicely on Saturday, and then the course got really tough, so I ended up, you know, moving way closer to the lead than I should have, and I knew that I was going to be on the opposite side of that today, and I mean, I played really, really good today, so it was nice to kind of conquer that course when it was a little easy, but also when it was just like baked and crusty and windy and everything. It was really hard out there this afternoon. So, yeah, I mean, I never really try to think about like winning. I mean, all that stuff is just kind of a little abstract. You're just trying to hit one good shot at a time, but you know, I'd seen a couple boards out there, and just like you get that feeling when you're playing really well that maybe you do have a chance to win, and as long as you don't mess it up, then you know, you'll end up on top. And I've had a few kind of tournaments like that over the years, but I haven't won too many times, so this one felt pretty good to do it out here and at this great event.
We'll go to Craig right here.
Joe, you talked a little about the perks that come with winning this tournament. There are a lot. You start with next week with API, the Masters, the PGA, all the signature events, exempt through 2027. Which of those excites you the most?
Did you say the Masters? Yeah. I don't know what. I don't want to break any protocol. I'm not sure if I've officially received an invite. Oh, did this go out?
You're good.
Is it still good? But yeah, that's the one. I mean, Augusta National is a place that has a really special place in my heart. I've only been there a couple times as a spectator, and I was able to play, fortunately, with a couple members last year. And I mean, it is just like the most incredible place on earth. And I went last year to the tournament just as a spectator because any chance that I can get to walk out there is pretty, you know, I'm going to take advantage of that. But to be playing in that tournament is going to be very special, and you know, something obviously you work towards your whole life, but you never really know when you're going to get that chance, and it's pretty sweet for that to be coming pretty soon. And then obviously, you know, the schedule changes will be great. It's an extreme advantage to be playing in those elevated events for how much money and points those guys get to play for. So you know, fortunately was able to get into those for the rest of the year, and hopefully I can play well. But it'll be great, I think, to get out and play with, you know, some of those guys. A lot of guys, you know, those best players in the world, I don't really, especially last year and even this year, don't play in the same events as any of them. So it'll be pretty fun to get to compete and kind of see how I stack up with some of them. And just to get like that schedule will be really ideal. And a lot of other things that come with the win are pretty special, but certainly Augusta's number one by far.
We'll go to Paul.
Joe, I was talking to your coach, your college coach, Coach Beard. He was mentioning even last week you guys talking about mental clarity and reprioritizing that. Just kind of wondering how pivotal that has been even in the last week or just to your game in general.
Yeah, no, it's been everything. I mean, I've really struggled for the majority of this year and been working like harder than I ever have at my game, trying to kind of clean up some physical things and get my swing in a better spot, my putting stroke in a better spot. But I feel like I was kind of neglecting the importance of the mental side of things. And, Beard's always been the one to really help me with that a lot in college. And, the stuff's kind of hard to explain, but I guess just, putting most of the focus and the emphasis on like the process and making sure that you're committed to what you're trying to do. It obviously sounds pretty simple, but that seems to be kind of the way that works best for me. And, we're talking all the time about that kind of stuff. And I'm talking to like my college roommate, Derek Hitchner, about, mental golf stuff all the time. And, there's been a lot of people that kind of helped me with it, but certainly Coach Beard is number one there. And, I can't thank him enough for all the stuff that he's helped me through. And, so it's been great to kind of get back onto some of the more mental things and see that work out well.
And then is my understanding you changed putters recently. You obviously had a insane putting weekend, at least statistically. Can you kind of just take me through the putting change?
Yeah, I was at the studio a few months ago, and I was with Paul Vazenko there, and he was I just told him I kind of wanted like a little bit of a change. It's like the exact same putter, but just like a cooler paint job and a different finish. And I don't know what it is about this thing, but it feels way better than any of the other, because I have like 4 of the same shape putter, all with different like finishes and metals or whatever. But this one has a special feeling to it, and I guess now it's definitely the one that I'm going to stick with. But I made that change I think right before Torrey maybe, and I've putted really honestly pretty well for majority of the year, I feel like, and then this weekend was ridiculous how many putts went in. But that one's here to stay for sure.
Max, right here.
Congratulations. I was just curious about your chemistry with Joe LaCava Jr. and just how you feel he's helped you this week and also this entire season.
Yeah, he's been great. I think it's been a pretty smooth transition into having him work for me. We were like good buddies a couple years ago on the Korn Ferry Tour. We stayed at houses together at a couple different tournaments and just became friends. And he was working for one of my buddies at the time, and the timing kind of worked out well last year. I think their Korn Ferry season was coming to an end, and he reached out to see if I needed anybody for the fall. And I had a really bad year throughout the regular season, and then I was like, why not? And I really like Joe a lot, obviously, and kind of brought him in and then started playing well, and it was a really easy transition. And he's a great caddy. He's really good at what he does, but he's also just like one of the boys, and we have a pretty good time out there and just keeps it light and everything. And I think that was good today, obviously with high pressure out there, and being able to have him kind of keeping me relaxed and whatever. It feels like you're just out there walking with one of your friends, and that's part's been great, but then also just kind of staying focused on the process and whatnot. He's been great, but so he's been awesome.
We'll go to the right to Malachi.
In order to help you win, since you've been in the Palm Beaches, have you found a favorite restaurant and or what favorite foods caused you to propel into the winner's box?
Yeah, I've actually gone to the butcher's shop place like 4 out of the last 5 nights in the lobby over here. I think that's what it's called. But it's really good. It's like a nice steakhouse, and I haven't really left the hotel much because I've had that good food, but I haven't really been out and tried much of the local food. I've been going to the Soul Good place for breakfast quite a bit. I went there today, and that place was really good, and probably maybe go back to that butcher's shop. But yeah, it's a lot of good food in the area, but fortunate to find that place here.
Congratulations.
Oh, sorry, did he have?
We'll do one more.
I was just wondering the putt on 18 on Friday, the 5-footer. Do you remember the read?
Yeah, it was like the worst putt you'd ever want. It was like the greens were so baked out and bumpy, and it was right to left, kind of falling away, and just a super sketchy putt. I hate right to left putts because I have the tendency to wipe them or block them a little bit, and it was just like I'd already been kind of crumbling under the cut pressure. I think I bogeyed 2 of the last 5 or something. I'd made a couple pars, and then I, of course, ended up with this 5-footer just to make the cut. And, same kind of thing. I just tried to make sure at a minimum I committed to it. I didn't want to leave knowing that I'd wished the last putt on Friday, so I committed to it, and fortunately it went in. But
Is there something to just getting comfortable on tour? I mean, you had a full year, managed to keep your card. Was it noticeable how differently you felt entering, another year?
I think so. The comfort level is there for sure. I mean, I think, having been to all these places once before, and then you just, as the year goes on, you meet guys, and I haven't met a ton of guys out here, but have made enough friends to where it feels, and you just you see the same people every week, so you just have a little bit more of that comfort than I think as a rookie. But yeah, so this year has been nice. I obviously haven't really been playing well at all until pretty much this week. But yeah, it feels much more comfortable, and I've obviously already been to all the places. So second year has been a little bit more easy than the rookie year, but yeah, now especially, I guess.
We'll go to Ira on the right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There was a moment on today when there was a 4-way tie for the lead, and it could have been a 5-way tie. And other golfers, with great backgrounds, made mistakes, and you did make any mistakes. And what was your mindset in not making that mistake, and really actually at 17 getting that birdie to give yourself that distance?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like, at the start of the day, I was in a pretty focused state of mind where, I had a lot of clarity on what I was trying to do with my golf game. And on the first couple holes, I saw some pretty nice shots, and just kind of was able to draw okay, when I focus on this, I'm going to get this result. And, seeing some of those good shots early, I hit a really, really nice shot in there on 6. And I kind of felt like I switched into a little bit deeper of a state of focus. And from that point on, it was let's just try to do that on every shot and not get ahead of ourselves, because I have a bad tendency to start thinking, ahead or thinking about what other guys are doing. And, a lot of big names obviously up on that board, and knowing that there's a lot of great accomplished players that are, right around the same score. And I saw Russell Henley was under early, I think, and I was playing it so good, and I think I was at 14 under and he was at 17. I was like, how am I going to catch these guys? And, was able to just stick with it. And I mean, the putter for sure saved me. I mean, every part of my game was really good today, but I made a lot of long putts. So those are just stuff, that doesn't really happen too often, especially on greens like this. But yeah, I felt like I was just really into my stuff and was clear on that. And so I was able to kind of block out, any of the distractions that usually would get in the way. Because, even the 15th hole, it's not that hard of a hole, but you have all this potential trouble that makes it so much more difficult mentally. But I felt like I was in a really good place to where I knew kind of what to focus on, and was able to kind of manage the mistakes. And, the up and down on 14 was really big as well, just not dropping a shot, because every shot is, the same as any other one. So it was nice to save that. And, yeah.
All right, we'll go last one right here with Malachi.
Well, you are a winner. So why are you going to return next year, if you're going to return?
To this tournament?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, this is one of my favorite tournaments, regardless. I missed the cut last year and still couldn't wait to come back. But now, especially after it, being my first win, it still doesn't really feel real. But this place is pretty special, and I absolutely love everything about the tournament, regardless of how I've played. So yeah, really excited to come back here, hopefully for years to come.
Great. Thank you for the time, Joe. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.